Good morning, good morning. Hello. Hi, everyone. Happy Thursday. Today is a big day. Cooper is going sledding at school. We had a long talk about that this morning. They do so many fun things at this school. The other school they did not. At this one they do. So he's going sledding today. Hello, hello. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Angela. Hello, everyone. So, something I'll tell you about my son's autism that people outside of our world might not know is that Cooper does not tell us if he's not feeling well. It's pretty common in individuals who are non-speaking. They just don't complain much. Is kind of the gist of it. And there's a cold going through our house, just minor, like not enough to like lay us up, but we're definitely, a little stuffily, blowing noses and stuff. And the last 2 weeks, I don't think this is cold related. He has started not wanting to get up in the morning. Now, when you have a child who for 2 years woke up at 3 a.m. every day, the fact that I have to wake him up at 6 is just a riot. Like, I open the door and, like, good morning, buddy. And he's like, "Mwah!" He does not want to get up. And it's like, oh my gosh, we're entering teenage dumb. It's so amazing. But so this morning he came down and like he like immediately laid down. I could see he did not have a fever and he just was just kind of moving kind of slow. And I was like, "But do you have a cold?" And he didn't really understand the answer to that question. So then I was like, does something hurt? Does something hurt here or here or here, And he's like, and here's the deal. Cooper cannot blow his nose. And I know that sounds just bizarre to anyone outside of our world, but it's pretty common with apraxia to not be able to blow your nose. And I think about how uncomfortable that must be. Oh, gosh, even my husband, doesn't talk a lot about, or maybe notice, or I don't know, that sort of stuff. He's like, gosh, that just has to be awful. Talk about torture. But I'm like, do you feel good? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, do you want to go to school? And he's like, yeah. So I emailed his teacher and I was like, Cooper might have a cold. I don't know. Can you, just watch him really closely? And then I have, like another kid, like my 4-year-old this morning. He's like, how you doing, buddy? This is what he said. He's like, good. My neck kind of hurts. I fell off the blue swing last night. And I was like, okay, are you really injured? And he's like, no, not too injured. Very different. Very different. I was thinking of some other differences this morning too. The way our mornings work, Cooper gets up at 6, lately 6:20. He's on the bus at 7:05. We get everyone else up at about 5 to 8. Harbor goes to daycare. Winnie floats in space and time. And Sawyer gets on the bus at 8:56. And we can walk to his bus stop. It's like a block away. So we're walking this morning and we're doing his spelling words. His spelling words are the J and the S sounds. And we're, going through spelling words and, I'm like, glance, judge, damage. And, he's talking to me about outdoor hockey practice tonight and just, 10-year-old boy things, right? He wants money for Roblox, which we've never played Roblox before. And he's like, just talking. It's so different, right? So then when I put him on the bus and I was walking back and I was thinking about the differences and how neither are bad. It's not really apples to apples. It's apples to broccoli. Um, Cooper has never had homework. He's a sixth grader. He's going on a field trip next week, his first field trip. I'm trying to figure out a time he wants to go to the. Does anyone know what that is? He's asked me 30 times. I'll see if anyone can guess. This is how he says it. Mom. S-ah-ah. Can anyone guess? So I think I'm going to bring him, I'm going to actually, I'll tell you what it is, but I'm going to pick him up on Monday at noon and bring him to the s-ah-ah because he really wants to go. There is school Monday, isn't there? Right? Yeah, there's school Monday. I'll tell you, it is the zoo. He wants to go to the s-ah-ah. So we're going to go to the zoo on Monday, I think. But here, you have to get tickets now. Like, early. So many things have changed throughout COVID. And it drives me a little Looney Tunes because it's like, I just want to go to the zoo, like, on a whim. But now you have to, like, buy tickets and, like, prepay, and I don't know. It just kind of feels like it's not as easy as just, like, going somewhere. So we're going to go to the zoo on Monday, I think. And I was just reflecting on the differences, right? Two little boys, 2 years apart, and very different. And neither is bad or neither is sad. It's just different. What else did I want to say? Okay, so a couple of announcements because I don't want to wait till the end. So have all of you heard about the retreat that I have? It's coming up in April. It's going to be April 29th and April 30th. And the 2-day tickets are sold out, but there is a 1-day ticket available for Sunday. So if you would like to come, it's in Minnesota, in Stillwater, please consider coming. It's going to be so much fun. We have just a handful of tickets left. If any of you want to hear Adrienne Wood from Tales of an Educated Debutante speak, she will be there. Dr. Mary Barbera will be there. Lori Hellman will be there. The Table for Five podcast will be there. I will be there. All kinds of moms, all kinds of female caregivers, all ages. While I'm just talking to you, let me grab the link. I should have did this before, but I didn't think about it. You don't have to be local. A lot of people fly in. A lot of people drive in. You don't have to know anyone. Let me share this here. Brenda, I'm coming to Pittsburgh. I'm coming to Pittsburgh in April to speak at a Mother's Day event at Autism Caring Center. I'm not sure if you are able to go to that. It's going to be a pretty great event. I'm excited too, Missy. I can't wait. I have a lot of stuff coming up and a little overwhelmed by it, but that's life. So in March, I'm going to North Carolina to speak. If you're near Charlotte, it's going to be amazing. And then in April, I'm going to Pittsburgh. And then in April, we have my event in Minnesota. Come. And then I'm going to be so if you're a local Minnesotan, I'm going to be Minnesotan. Oh my gosh, I said that so funny. I'm going to be at a New Prague High School. All this is on my website. Let me share this just so you guys can see, because I know I get asked this all the time. Yes, Missy, you really, okay, so one of the really important things that I try to do at the events that I have or host or be a part of is really include everybody. So if you're scared to come because you don't know anyone, and trust me, I don't even know if I would be brave enough, but like if you are really looking for a way to meet other people, try to come to one of these. Try to come. So there'll be the event in April and the event in September. Nina, I'm gonna be in Charlotte. Let me grab it for you. Look at me. I am like so efficient right now with the computer skills. So here's my Charlotte event. It's called Finding Joy in Caregiving, and it's in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yes, Rachel Flanagan just said, "Come, you will leave with friends. You will probably leave with her as a friend." Because she is the nicest person I have ever met. And she will grab you and hug you and love you. Will you come to California? You know, Kelly, I have nothing planned in California right now. The one in Pennsylvania. So the one in Pennsylvania is right here. Here is the Pittsburgh one. I would love to come to Nashville. Oh my gosh. Yes, I would love to come to Nashville. I came by myself last year and I was nervous, but everyone was inclusive and amazing, and I connected with a group of moms. If you can't come in April, we have another event in September. That one's just a little farther away. That one's in camp in Wisconsin. So that one you would have to rent a car. And the reason I'm saying that is because the event that I have in April, you can get around with Uber or Lyft. The one in September, you have to drive. It is like in the north woods of Wisconsin. And as you go, you will just totally relax. It is amazing. Yay, Amanda Joe! Yay, yay, yay! I can't wait. Georgia would be fun too. So yeah, I have 4 or 5 travel things planned, and one of the bummers, and I'll just say that, is that I can't bring Jamie. I feel like it's like such a bummer because like I want to bring Jamie, but we don't have anyone to watch our wonderful children, so I go alone. I traveled from Massachusetts to Wisconsin with a mom I had met before for the Moon Beach retreat, and it was amazing. Hi, Brittany. Greetings from Ireland. Hello. If you ever do anything in the UK, I will be there in a flash. Yes, yes, yes. How do you decide, or how does someone book you? Casey Carter, if you go on my website, it's findingcoopersvoice.com. There's a link for speaking. Click on that and fill that out. And then that's kind of our starting off point. Then we can chat. I would love to come to Springfield, Missouri. Second thing that I wanted to tell you, so again, make sure you look at the Adrian event and the Mary Barbera event. Please come. We would love to have you. Just going to throw this out there. If anyone wants to donate to sponsor a mom to come, please let me know, because I'm getting a lot of requests for that, and I'm not going to just throw that out there because I just don't want to. But if you want to sponsor, if you want to donate, if you're a business and want to be part of the day, just reach out to me and let me know, and we can connect offline. The other thing I want to say is I'm kicking off another speaking series. So I get asked a lot about this. I took a picture, so I'm actually just going to grab it so I can just read it to you. So there's a lot of topics that I like to really go more in depth with, and I like to do it in a smaller audience, and I do it on my supporter page. So I'm going to have upcoming talks about marriage, siblings, our education, goods and bads, aggression, medication, and finding joy. These are talks that I do on my supporter page. So I'm going to put a link right here. If you are looking for a community, if you're looking to have more in-depth conversations, come join this group. So the talks will be marriage, siblings, education. So I did a presentation 2 nights ago to like brand new autism parents. I went to Roseville School District and I spoke to their ECFE. And it was like there was like 40 people there, and it was funny because as they were doing introductions really quickly, um, they were like their kids were 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Now Cooper's 12, and I can say to you guys, I never thought that I would be the middle of the road autism mama. I mean, you just think time's not going to happen. You think, you're stuck in the hardest part of your life. Okay, I can admit that fully and honestly. It's like every day was 24 hours, and it's like it's never going to get better. It's going to be hard forever. And now all of a sudden, he's 12. He's going sledding today. He's going on a field trip next week. I mean, how did this happen, right? So I'm talking to these moms and dads. There were a lot of dads there. And I will tell you, here were the most common questions. So I did my presentation, and then there was like 20 minutes of questions. Sleep, marriage, siblings. So how did you make it through sleep? How did you get him sleeping? Does Cooper sleep now? I'm never going to sleep again. Okay. It was a lot of women saying, my husbands are just not on board. They're good men, but they're just not on board. And they're either in denial about autism, or they don't want to talk about it. They won't come to a group like this. Siblings. How do I give my other children what they need? How do I not have guilt? How do I answer questions? And then a lot about medication. Those are 4 topics that I love to deep dive in my supporter group. And I'm going to kick off another learning series where every week I'll tackle another topic. So come join us on the supporter group. Try it out for a month. See if you like it. There's a link to join. A lot of sweet people are saying this group is a safe group full of support. Best $5 a month I invested. Yeah, come join us, please. And then you'll get one of those little badges by your name, and you're part of the fun group. Okay, so let's talk about our topic today. And so last year, at my September retreat, actually, one of my friends presented. Her name is Casey. She's an autism mom. She has 2 kids, business owner. She has 4 kids, but 2 with autism. She's the one that takes our photos. She's our photographer. She's just an inspiration to me. And her presentation was about how your value does not diminish as a special needs parent. And I want to just peel back the layers of that a little bit, because I think a lot of you will relate. And I'm going to start really, really at the beginning. So, I'm hoping I can get some nods, some hands up, some people that can relate to this. So when Cooper was born, I was really immersed in friends and coworkers and people that had kids his same age, right? We all had babies at the same time, all Jamie's friends, all my friends, right? So you're joining this club, this motherhood club, this parenting club. You have your first baby, right? And right away, we really saw, there was no denying that Cooper wasn't developing typically. I mean, he met his physical milestones on time, meaning he rolled over and he sat and he crawled and he walked all right on time. And I know that because I have to fill out an evaluation form. It feels like every other day with his milestones. But what happened is, and I always say, we weren't excluded, but we weren't included either. So we would go to events, parks, play groups, ECFE, all those different things. And it's like we didn't fit in. We just didn't fit in. So I remember right away, like, having these feelings, almost like I wasn't a real mom. Where my friends and the other moms, they were going, they were starting t-ball, and they were starting dancing, and they were starting um, different things. I have this memory of a friend who was like, "Oh my gosh, I love spending time with my kids. Um, every Friday we go feed the ducks. Every Friday we go to the zoo. All these different things, right?" And I couldn't do any of that stuff with Cooper. He didn't want to leave the house. He only wanted to watch TV. He didn't know what to do at a park. He screamed if we were in the car. I mean, I describe it as doors were closing. And I remember thinking, like, am I a real mom? Am I'm a real mom. I'm a real mom. I do all the things. But my mom time was at speech therapy and occupational therapy, and really trying to fit in with these groups, with these people, with our peers. And I didn't it I just really started to feel like I didn't belong. And I don't know if anyone else can relate to that. I'm gonna move here just because I'm getting kind of tired of this. So I'm gonna move. But it was like it was almost as if I really felt like my value as a mom was diminishing because I wasn't doing any of the mom things that my friends were. So, hold on, we're gonna be in the dark here. I'm going into my basement. I'm gonna sit legit on my router and modem. We'll see. I don't know why it's freezing up for some people and not for everyone. It just drives me crazy. So, and I remember, and I'm going to come at it from the dad's perspective too. My husband felt a lot of that as well, because my husband's a really big outdoor guy. He is a fisherman and a hunter, and they backpack into the Boundary Waters, which is like way up north, and they're really doing the outdoor stuff. And we tried to go camping. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have this memory. We went with a bunch of our friends, married friends, and went camping where you boated to this island. And all the kids were just like having a blast. They spent, all their time like playing in the mud and the woods and the dirt, and Cooper only wanted to watch a phone. And of course we felt like we were failures. Of course we felt like we were the worst parents ever, because now we know that he has a neurological disability. We know that his brain works differently. Not bad, not worse, just different. So when he sees sticks and dirt and mud, his first reaction isn't to build a castle. It's, I really want to watch Barney and Dora and like see my friends, right? But we didn't know that in the beginning. I also have another memory, and I think this was in my book. I think the story was in there, but it might have got cut. We went and stayed at a cabin with a bunch of friends, and including Sawyer. All the kids minus Cooper were like four-wheeling, and we had to leave our Yukon. We had a Yukon running so Cooper could watch Barney or Dora on the DVD player. And I remember we just felt like losers. Like, we are the worst parents. And coming from a vulnerable heart, my value just diminished. Like, I was like, I don't want to leave the house. Like, I don't want to. I'm embarrassed of myself, and we've failed here. And my husband felt the same way too. Every other kid was doing this and this, and to flash back, we also worked full time. So my husband managed. Well, actually, by that point, So my husband managed a couple Wells Fargo banks, and then eventually, and this is in my book, and then eventually quit his job and started his own insurance business. He's an insurance agent. And I worked as a project manager for a big nonprofit, and then moved to PBS, the TV station, in business development. And there is this, really unique thing that happens, and I don't feel this with my other kids, where it wasn't like, how do I word this? I'm sorry, I'm stumbling over my words, but like mostly everything Cooper needed in the beginning is therapy, right? And therapy appointments are typically during the day. And I remember being at work and just being like, I feel awful that I am not with him, and then being at home and being like, I have so much work to do. Like, I am so far behind. I am faking it till I make it. I'm going to lose my job. We need this job. And that's the part that people outside our world don't understand, is mostly everything when you have a child with a disability is during the day. So like, for example, if your child has school conferences, like with Sawyer, we grab the 5:20 slot. IEP meetings are during the day. For me, I really just felt like I turned invisible. Like, that's how I describe it. I just felt like I was like spread so thin. And I was really hard on myself. So this is something that I talk a lot about when I do public speaking, is the way that we talk to ourselves internally, our internal dialogue, right? So my daughter has just been a rotten sleeper for the last week. And I will tell you, at 4 a.m., I am like not nice to myself because I'm exhausted. And that happens. And I felt like it was just all smoke and mirrors with me as a mom. Like, I was just like, I'm at work trying to lead this meeting, and the school's calling because Cooper's getting kicked out again, and I can't go to happy hour at work because I have a child with special needs who doesn't have a babysitter. I can't get one. We go to the park and people are staring at us. We go to therapy, he won't participate. I'm paying out of pocket. I mean, I'm sharing all this because there is some mom out there in the internet land right now that just feels like the biggest failure. And I want you to know that you're not. You're not. And your value does not diminish as a special needs parent. Whether you're the dad who has the child who won't engage with them, won't play sports, whether you're the mom who is held together with dry shampoo and coffee, you're doing a really good job. And this is hard stuff. And I talked to 40 parents of these newly diagnosed kids that were just lost, you guys. They were so lost. Because there is no guidebook. There isn't. I feel like it's so much easier to talk about our neurotypical kids because it just, everyone's kind of going through the same thing. But when you have a child with a disability, your group is about this big. And it's like, who do I talk to about this stuff? Who do I share? Who's going to understand? I remember like being with like at lunch at work, right? And like sitting in a group of people my age and trying to share my stories. Like, Cooper doesn't sleep. I mean, I was up, I'll just, this example, we were up the whole night, 24 hours. And people would be like, oh yeah, my kid doesn't sleep too. Really? Like, yeah, they woke up a couple times last night. It's like my stories started getting so, they felt so outlandish. They felt like, especially when you're dealing with aggression, self-injuring, stimming behaviors, right? I'll give an example. My daughter is going to be 2 in May, and she bit at daycare on Tuesday. I've never had a biter. I, I don't even know how to deal with it. I'm so stressed out. I've never seen her do it. I felt terrible. I feel terrible, right? But I can say, my neurotypical daughter bit and talk to you about it, right? But I will tell you, there are things going on in Cooper's world that I can't share. I don't feel comfortable talking because they're so complicated and vulnerable. And that is isolating. So, I feel like in every one of these lives that I do, I just encourage you to find people. Please find people. Because I was a caregiver in crisis. And I don't think people believe me. They see me now. I've been told that I couldn't have been in crisis because I have a husband. I've been told that I couldn't have been in crisis because I have a support system. I've been told that I've been told a lot of things. And I don't know if anyone knew how low I was in those hard years. Cooper's hardest years were ages 5 to 8. And if you read my book, I was divorced during that time. But I made it to work every day. And I put my eyebrows on, and I combed my hair, and I had clothes on. And I faked it. And I will tell you that then I had to leave at 3:30. I had to race and pick up Cooper. And he would scream the whole way home, and he would hurt his brother in the car. And I have to lock 3 locks on the door and lock the windows and put the alarms on, and we couldn't leave the house again. And when people sent me text messages, I said I was okay. And if they called, I didn't answer the phone. And I didn't eat good food, and I didn't sleep, and I probably drank too much, and I was just so alone. I was isolated emotionally, and I was isolated physically. So, I'm hi Shelly, hello. I have heard that spitting is the hardest behavior. I'm not sure what your name is. Is it? I don't know if that's your name, but I've heard that spitting is really hard. I've known a couple kids that have spit. Yeah. But if you can just find somebody, and, whether you want to come join my group online, if you want to reach out to your kids' peers at school, if you want to be vulnerable and put something on a special needs Facebook group and say, does anyone want to meet for coffee? I'll host, These are all different ways. But see, I always put up, I had walls, you guys. I had big walls. I think there were parts of me that I didn't want people to know how severe Cooper was. I think I didn't want people to judge me as a parent because I was, barely making it. I wanted to just believe that this was going to be okay, and if we just made it through this, and lots of things. And I think I was alone a lot longer than I should have been. Learn from me. I didn't do everything right, but now I know that I can reach out to different people. Dawn, potty training is one of those topics that I talk about on my supporter page. just because it's kind of a vulnerable topic. I'm going to put a link here to come. Hold on. I'm going to put a link here if you want to have that topic covered. I very, very, very much can. Come join my group. You also asked about losing teeth. I'll tell you, I sobbed when Cooper lost his first tooth. And I'll tell you why. And if someone wants to make fun of me, I don't care. He woke up from a nap and he walked out and I was like, hey, buddy. And he smiled at me and I saw that his front tooth was missing. He didn't tell me. He didn't care. He didn't acknowledge it. The tooth was gone. And I sobbed because it felt like another thing that missed experience. It really felt like a missed experience. For me, I wanted to do the tooth fairy. I will tell you, Sawyer losing teeth is like legit was his most favorite thing in the whole entire world. He pulled out half his teeth early so he could get like his dollar because he was so excited. Yes, join the group. Yes, Brenda, it is the best group. But one of the last lives I did, I talked about missed experiences. And that really summed it up for me because there's a 6th grade dance that's happening. I think it is next week. And Cooper, and one of you is going to comment really sweetly and say, well, go with them. But that's not the part that I'm sad about. It's the missed experience. It's him knowing what a dance is, caring what a dance is, wanting to go to a dance, to be with his buddies, and we don't have any of that. And I can say with a vulnerable heart that it hurts me. And maybe it'd be different if Cooper wasn't my first. Maybe it'd be different if he was my 4th. I don't know. But it makes me sad. So I'm kind of working through that a little bit. Also, like Valentine's Day. I have 4 kids to do Valentine's for, to bring to school. And he has no acknowledgement of it at all. So like Sawyer and I made a Valentine's box. It's a hockey rink. Harbor and I made a Valentine's box last night. It's a jungle theme. Cooper doesn't care. And that's fine, right? I can't make him care, and he doesn't care, and that is what it is. But there's some missed experience feelings in there. I've also had people say to me like, well, you're lucky you have other kids. Oh my gosh, am I lucky I have other kids? Yep. But one thing I will tell you is doing something with Sawyer doesn't make up for not doing it with Cooper. And that's a really tough topic to talk about. Because I'm so lucky I have these other 3 kids. I'm so blessed. But I still wish Cooper could talk. And I still wish he could learn to drive a car and go to a dance, get a job. Yeah, I mean, right? These are big feelings. These are big things, guys. And I don't have the answers. I don't know what I'm doing any more than any of you do. I just take it day by day. I'm trying to get Cooper to blow his nose. I'm trying to get him to the field trip next week at the movie theater. I'm in the parking lot, terrified. So, you know, your value does not diminish because you have a child with special needs. And give yourself grace. Please give yourself grace. I didn't for a lot of years. And I think a lot of it's because I shared my life online and I was always told all these things I shouldn't feel. And if I say I'm sad, it means I don't love him. And if I say this is hard, I'm complaining. And it's probably because I shared it online, so I had an audience to judge me, but it's hard. But we're gonna make it through. We are. We're gonna figure this stuff out. I'm a middle of the road mama. I'm not even a new mama anymore. Isn't that crazy? 12. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get to work. You guys come join my supporter group. Upcoming videos. If you want to watch a video on aggression, medication, marriage, siblings, you need to come join. So I'll put a link right here for the video series. I'd love to get to know you. Okay. Bye, everyone. Thanks for being here.